Hello and welcome to the first episode of season 2 of The Story and the Song and of 2026. My name is Audrey Love. I'm going to be your host. I'm a singer-songwriter based off the west coast of BC, Canada, otherwise known as Turtle Island. And if it's your first time here, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have some amazing episodes coming up for you. We have Drew Storey kicking off the year, who's a singer-songwriter based off the West Coast here. And we have Alex Warms, who is from out east Canada. And we have Scotty Hills, also from here, Vancouver, based out of Vancouver. So we have those episodes coming up for you in the month of January. I'm super excited for those to get to you guys and for you guys to hear these stories. And if it is your first time here as well, maybe just a quick introduction about what this podcast is about. It's a podcast basically for anyone who loves music, anyone who's in the music industry, engineers, producers, artists, songwriters. It's anyone who's interested in music and of finding out about your favorite artists. And maybe if you're someone who's looking for a new perspective on how other artists do their thing. And I'm hoping that that's what these stories do, is that they inspire other people, and that the topics that we bring up and we talk about are topics that relate to you, and that can, bring that new perspective to you. So that is what this channel is about. So if you're here for that and you want to be a part of that, please make sure to subscribe to our channels on YouTube and on Spotify. And we're also on social media. So we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram. Find us on there as well. If you'd like to be on the show, please send me a message on our socials or to our email, which is listed here below in the show description. So that's what we're all about. And I'm super excited that you're here and that you guys are going to hear this first episode with Drew. Drew and I sat down, we had a chat at Red Rum Records in White Rock here on the West Coast, and it was just so much fun talking to him. He was so easy to talk to. He was so open. His vulnerability and his courage to talk about his life and what he's going through as a person, and his music and his songs. It was just really fun. I really, really enjoyed this conversation. And Drew, thank you so much for the hat. So if you guys want one, please send him a DM. I absolutely adore this hat. It's just such a cool design, so classic. And it's got a nice mesh. I'm definitely not taking this hat off because my hair it's just not happening right now. But there is like a see-through mesh on the back here, so it's super nice and breathable. So yeah, if you want a hat, send him a message. But yeah, I'm going to leave it with you guys to enjoy this episode. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. All right, so we are rolling here at
Sweet.
Red Rum Records. Drew, thank you so much for making the trip out.
Of course.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Today, it's a lovely day. It's a rainy day,
Yep.
but it was pretty chill. I came out here right after work, and I
Right.
got to listen, as I said to you right before,
Yes.
to an episode of this
Cool.
show, and I really just enjoyed myself. And yeah.
I love it. Thanks for tuning in. You teach music for work, right? Is that what you're
Yeah.
doing today, or?
I just started, to be completely honest,
Okay.
maybe about a month and a half ago, or
Okay.
maybe 2 months ago.
Yep.
So I grew up taking lessons and stuff like that. And then I went, after graduating high school in 2023, then I went away to college in Nelson, BC at the
Nice.
music program at Selkirk College. I don't
Okay.
know if you know any.
I grew up in the Kootenays, so
Okay.
I don't know that
Okay.
program, but I know the
You
area.
know the area.
Yeah.
So I lived out there for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I came back in May because it was just one of those 2-year diploma programs.
Okay.
And after that, I was like, oh, how am I going to make money? Like,
Right.
what
Yeah.
am I going to do?
What am I doing with my life?
And I took a class there I really just took it out of curiosity. I didn't think that it would be something I would necessarily be interested in, but it was on private studio teaching, and I was like,
Okay.
"Oh wait, I love this." Like I am a really social person,
Right.
and I do like working with kids, and all that type of stuff. And I obviously love music, so I started
Okay.
applying, and I work at two different music schools, one day a week right now, but I'm trying to get more days.
Okay. Cool. And so what was the program you took? What was it was called private studio session
So
or
that was just one class within the program.
oh,
The
okay.
general overarching program is called contemporary music and technology. It's through Selkirk College
Okay.
out there. I was at the one of the Nelson locations, so
Yep.
I was living in Nelson for 2 years, and yeah, it was a great program. And then at the end of my second year, it was kind of like an offered class that you could take additionally if
Cool.
you wanted to. And I was like, I should probably learn how to do this, and
Right.
how to properly do it.
Yeah. So like audio engineering essentially
I
is
mean,
that?
there's definitely some of that. So it's more like the first year is a general music program. So everyone comes in. It's kind of similar to reference the episode again that I was listening
Yeah.
to the McEwen program
Right.
that was being talked about, where it's
Yep.
first year everyone's in taking the same classes,
Okay.
and then second year you pick specialization. The
Right.
whole time you do have a main instrument that you're there for, so
Yep.
that kind of differentiates you.
Right.
But second year you pick your major. I was a songwriting major, and there's a certain amount of classes and certain classes that you take with that.
Okay.
And then additionally, I took this other class just because I was interested in
Okay.
taking it.
Nice. And so how awesome that you took that because is that kind of what has given you the work that you're doing right
Hundred
now?
percent, hundred
Okay.
percent. Because
Cool.
I think that I think I made maybe I always had the skill to do the job that I'm doing right now, or at least 2 years ago I did have that skill to
Yeah.
teach music. I never would have had the confidence to do it
Oh,
because there was
okay.
something about just being
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I took a class on this, I got this. That
Right.
like in those first few weeks, or even just applying, like I feel like those phone calls with my now bosses, I would have been a nervous wreck to be honest if I hadn't
Yeah.
taken that class because it felt like okay, no, I can picture the first few days and what I need to do, and that really calmed me down a lot. So.
Okay. Good. Good. Yeah, it always, I mean, when you have some kind of credential behind your name, it definitely just gives you that extra boost of confidence,
It
right?
definitely
Like,
shocked me. That's not normal for
yeah.
me. Like I'm in the arts where it's like, okay, who really cares about credentials? Like most of the
Right.
time, I've
Right.
always been like very, I mean, not anti credential, but I have a lot of friends who are in like STEM fields and stuff like that, and they
Okay.
kind of all they talk about is credentials, and I'm kind of
Oh,
just like,
okay.
I like playing songs, but
Yeah.
but having one credential under my belt where it felt like, yeah, I can say that I took this thing, so that does give
Yes.
me a leg up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I know that when I wanted to teach songwriting, like I definitely had this moment of just like, how do I do this? Like,
Yeah,
am I qualified to do this? And once
totally.
I got into it, though, it was a lot of fun, and I had a great time with those first batch of students. So,
So awesome.
um, but you and I met at Anna Katerina's album release show at Green Auto.
Yeah.
I saw you perform there for the first time, and what a great show you put on!
Thank
Like
you.
you brought this, you and your whole band just have so much energy,
Thank you.
and you guys really like entertain. You're not all just standing there like strumming on your guitar. I mean, your guitarist was like jumping up all like
He's a legend.
yeah, like
I can't take credit for that. He's his own animal. Yeah.
right. What's his name?
His name's Jaden.
Okay.
Jaden Elnis. You can look him up on Instagram or anything like
Okay,
that if
cool.
you're
I
listening.
will. Yeah.
Him and I met at a program, an after school program for musicians out in Clayton, while we were at the end of high school. And we
Okay.
met at that. And then when we graduated, we were kind of texting back and forth like, man, we love music, but like, what are we going to do? So then I told him I was going to Selkirk, and he ended up coming with. So
Okay.
we didn't live together, but we were actually neighbors throughout school the whole time, and we had all the same classes and all that type of
Oh,
stuff. So
cool. Oh, that's fun.
yeah.
Nice. So there's like a bit of history there with you
Yeah,
guys.
we have about like 2.5, almost 3 years of like friendship and playing together now, which is really cool because it feels
That's nice.
like I didn't really I have a stepbrother who like came into my life a bit later in life, but I didn't
Right.
grow up with brothers. I have my sister and my stepsister,
Yeah.
and I'm a little bit closer to my mom. So like having, I don't know, like that brother bond with somebody is
Yes.
just so cool. Like he really is like as close as family to me.
Cool. Nice. Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys put on a show. You had some great messaging. Like I love the message you carry, and
Thank
like I
you.
want to talk more about that
Yeah, yeah,
later. So those are the things that definitely like stood out to me. And I mean, you're only 20 years old. Like amazing.
yeah.
Like you're killing it. How was it
Thank
for
you.
you that night like at Green Auto? I mean, Green Auto is kind of turning into this like esteemed venue,
Yeah,
I which I was fully unaware of. I've been out of the loop for a while, and I didn't realize like what a big deal it is to like play at Green Auto. Like
sure. Yeah,
so
yeah. I
how
think
was that night for you guys? Because you guys like didn't have you had to get Max
yeah
to play
to
your
play with us.
drums, right?
Oh, shout out
So
to Max. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. It was, well, just first blanket statement. It was incredible, and I'm
yeah,
honored. And
yeah.
Anna is one of the most amazing people that I have had the chance to meet. I'm actually going out for lunch with her tomorrow,
Oh,
and she just
amazing.
came back from her Germany tour. I don't know if you're following her
Yes,
stuff,
yes,
but yeah,
yes.
she's kind of who I hope. I actually have no idea how much older she is than me. I didn't ask, but
Right,
she's who I hope to be when I'm that age, in terms of just open book. Like, she is
right.
the opposite of a gatekeeper. Like,
Okay,
if she sees someone who's kind and driven, she will say, here's what I've learned in the last 10 years, and here's how you can just learn it today. And she just gives you all the resources. Like, that's my relationship with her. Is she's been,
nice.
I hope someday somehow I can return the favor, but she's such
Oh,
a kind like soul, and just so caring.
oh, I love
And
that.
I definitely want to be able to give other people, that are like a couple years younger than me or whatever, I want to help give them those shortcuts in the future too, if that makes
Right.
sense.
Like be a mentor.
Totally.
And that is so needed, in the industry. And, we need each other. There's so much noise out there,
Yeah,
and everyone has such a unique experience as they go through their artistic journey. So
totally.
that's awesome. That's awesome that how did you guys meet?
Oh my goodness, I'm totally blanking. But what I think it was, I think I had followed her online when I was at Selkirk. I got pretty close with like a lot of families in Nelson and stuff like that, just through
Okay.
like going to school with their kids and stuff.
Right.
And one of the families was always like, "Well, this girl's so awesome. She went here like a couple years back, and she's from Nelson, from
Okay.
my understanding,
Yeah.
and she went through the program." And so I had heard her name. I think I followed her already. But then my band played a show in May, and Max was playing in another band
Okay.
there, and he saw me, and then he said to Anna, "Oh, you got to get in contact with this guy." So really, it was Max that connected
Okay.
us, and then we ended up hiring Max for that night as well, which is just crazy, and an honor to get to have played with him. It's,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, considering that everything was so last minute, you guys pulled it
thank you.
off. Like, yeah, it was a really good show.
Yeah, I mean, I
Um,
credit my bandmates like 100%, especially people. I mean, especially Max that night. He was like a
right.
powerhouse. We had, I think we only had like one proper rehearsal with him, maybe like one and a half. And that guy, like, just every single time we would play a song, just got like so much better. Like, his professionalism, I don't think I've met anyone in like my experience. I'm sure there's great people all over the world, but
Yeah.
in my experience, he's the most professional musician I've ever met. So it was
Okay.
crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Good. Good. Um, amazing. Yeah, it was a really good show.
Thank you.
Everyone was just like everyone on the bill just did such a great job. That was my first time ever seeing Anna Katerina. I had
Oh,
heard of
yeah.
her and seen her out in the scene, but I had never like seen her perform. So that was a treat for sure. Um, speaking of performances, you met the mayor of Surrey last week.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about that. What
Uh,
happened? Where was this?
so this was at the Surrey. So Surrey and White Rock. I don't want to misspeak because I'm not a huge business guy. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So if I say anything wrong, I'm not trying to lie. This is my understanding.
Disclaimer, people. Disclaimer.
This is my understanding, is that
Yeah.
Surrey and White Rock, their board of trade just merged recently
Oh, okay. Okay.
into one.
Okay.
And so this was their first Surrey White Rock Board of Trade Excellence Awards. It had
Okay.
nothing to do with me and my buddy who we were there. It had nothing to do with our excellence. It had to
Right.
do with
You brought your own excellence
we brought
to
our
the
own. Okay,
table. Yeah.
we were trying to win an award that night. No, no, no. So what happened is we both work. We do some projects with a company called Fusion Presents, and Fusion Presents happened to be hiring the live entertainment for that night. And so our boss reached out and was like a few days before the event, was like, "Hey, do you think it could be you guys doing this thing. We're like, absolutely, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
We didn't really know what we were getting into. We got there and it was like, this is the fanciest thing we've ever done.
Right.
Like, it was nuts.
Yes.
We're just two, like, we're the same age, and I mean, we're 20, but like we act like children like 90% of the time. So when we were standing there, I swear some people were wearing like these dresses with like jewels that are probably worth more than I'll ever be in my life.
Right.
And I was like, where are we? It looked like Titanic or something. Like,
Okay.
I don't even know what was happening, but
Yeah.
We just played some acoustic duo music there. And yeah, we approached the mayor, who I had met at a different event before. Not that she would ever remember me, but I was just like, hey, thank you for supporting the arts so much, because through Fusion Presents, I know how much her and her campaign is involved with the funding that's going on right now for live music and stuff like that.
Okay.
I can't, like I said, I don't know exact
Yeah,
details off
fair.
the top of my head,
That's
but
all right.
she's very music forward. And so
Cool.
I literally just wanted, like Max and I, my friend who we were there, we both wanted to just thank her as young upcoming artist that she's even caring about that type of thing going on. And she was very
Right.
kind.
Okay, cool. Nice. So this is kind of a big moment, and how did the performance go?
The performance was awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
Max and I had actually never played duo acoustic stuff together, but we're both in kind of the same wheelhouse of like sort of lower mid-range male vocalist, singer-songwriter stuff. So like Jack Johnson and John Mayer, like all that 2000s acoustic pop. We knew all the same songs. So it wasn't too difficult to get through. It was definitely nervous of being like, okay, we've never worked really as a team. We've been friends for like about a year, and then now we're playing like the most important event we've ever played.
Yeah.
So that, I think, like
The pressure
mentally
was on a little bit. Yeah.
for sure. But
Yeah.
it was a background thing. Like so that also takes the pressure off. When people are just talking to each other, it's
Yes.
like, okay, this is fine.
Oh,
Like,
totally. I've done those before.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Nice. So let's get into your songs. So on Spotify, well, that's where I looked. You
Yeah.
have this one song that you released in 2015,
jeez.
and you're like a baby.
Yeah.
You were so young. How old are you in that recording?
I was 10. I'm a
Oh my
2005 baby. So
Oh my goodness. Like,
yeah,
tell me about that recording, like, and how that all kind of
happened.
happened.
Yeah, that-
10 years old. Like, obviously, I also saw like that there was Sydney Storey.
Yeah,
so
that's
is
my
that
sister.
okay? I was curious about that connection as
awesome.
well.
This feels like Nardwar. I'm like, how do you know this? How
Yeah.
Hold up.
I did a little bit of research, of course.
Oh, geez.
So yeah, but let's go back to your 10-year-old self. Like,
Yeah.
how did you write that song?
Yeah,
What-
I did.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
I want to
Love
say
it.
co-wrote, but yeah, I'm happy to explain that whole dynamic. When I was about 8 or 9 years old, my sister, who's 2 years older than me,
Yeah.
was taking lessons at a school called Song of Stars. I now teach there, which is crazy.
Okay.
So what ended up happening is I sucked at every single sport I ever played. My mom put me in every sport you can think of, and yeah, I was no good. And then one day we were picking up my sister from her singing lessons, and I was like, I really want to try this. I don't know what came over me. My sister had always been singing around the house, and we would sing like High School Musical stuff, like, and all that type of stuff growing up together. So it was really like seeing her do that, and then I think at that time feeling like I was no good at anything else, and I wanted to try something.
Right.
So I tried it, and I loved it. And maybe about a year and a half later, into my lessons of singing covers, I don't know what happened, but I expressed that I wanted to make my own song to my teacher.
Right.
And so we wrote California, which is that song from
Yes.
2015. I had just got back from a trip for the first time to California with my dad.
Yeah.
And I was just so excited about this place where it was sunny and there was Disneyland and there was all this stuff, and it blew my
Yes.
mind.
Yeah.
So it was like my first true love.
Right.
And I wanted to write about it at like 9 or 10 years old. So through Song of Stars, they had this really cool thing called the Star Sessions, where it was at the end of the year, they would offer students a package that was, if you had written a song, which was, okay, photo shoot, recording the song, mix and master for a certain set number. Obviously, I
Okay.
was 10 years old, so thank you to my mom who funded that. Have no
Right.
clue what that costs, and I don't think I have the guts to ask her.
Okay.
But,
Okay. Yeah.
but
Fair enough.
it was very kind, and I think she really liked that the other song my sister and I had written together at home. So yeah, I think she was just excited to see us getting along as young kids and working
Yeah.
on something creative and something positive. So my mom paid for that, and we did that. Yeah, and I went to the studio, and yeah, the rest is kind of history. It was very strange looking back on my writing process at 10 years old of being like,
Right.
uh, I couldn't play chords at all, but I was always I had a pretty good ear for melody. So me and my singing teacher, she was a piano player as well, and we would kind of play a game of hot and cold where she'd play a chord progression and I'd be like, that's not it. That is
Oh,
not it. And then she'd
cool.
play another one. I'd be like, I think that's almost it. And then she'd play
Right.
like a slight variation. I'd be like, yes, that's it. So it
Cool.
just like I truly believe anyone can write a song.
Yes.
There's obviously barriers of education within music that can hold people back, but I think it's a beautiful thing that I had no musical experience in terms of like actually playing an instrument, but I had like a melody, and we can all feel chord progressions even if we don't know what that means. I believe
Yeah.
everyone on the planet can feel it. And
Yeah.
if you can partner up with someone who is willing to take the time, it was a beautiful thing that I had that relationship.
Yes.
I think anybody could be a great songwriter.
Yes. 100%. And I mean, like when you describe that process of just like trying out chords and whether you like feel it or not, I mean, like how much has your songwriting process changed since then? Like
It's just that, but then
probably
calling it things.
right. Yeah. Like like that's pretty much my songwriting process. You know,
Yeah.
I'll sit down with the guitar and be like, what chord? And yeah, you just hit that chord where you're like, that's it.
Yeah.
And can you explain that? I don't know. You've played that chord millions of times over.
But that moment, it feels
But
like the
in
thing.
that moment, it is the thing.
Whoa, a
Yeah.
G. I just invented this.
It speaks to my soul. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that is. I mean, what was it like going into the studio at that age? I mean,
Yeah. That's hard to remember. I mean, I remember like vaguely, but I don't really remember how I feel. I can almost
right.
picture, well, I can picture the studio because I've been back since, but, and taking the pictures and holding my guitar and like having conversations. And yeah, I just remember feeling like, I don't know, I thought it was way bigger of a deal than it really was. Cause like it is really cool
Right.
that I got that opportunity, but
Yes.
like, who was I releasing it to? My grandma, you know, like I love my grandma,
Right.
but I remember I was like, I've made it.
Yeah.
I truly remember feeling like
Yes.
on top of the world because
I
of
love
it.
that. And why not? You know,
Yeah.
like you're 10. Like,
Yeah.
come on. Like,
For sure.
you should feel at the top of
For
the world.
sure.
Like, you are doing a very, like, important thing in
Yeah.
that moment.
It was
Okay.
the most important thing I had done in those 10 years. Like,
Yeah,
there's no
it is.
shame in saying that.
Yeah, exactly. That's so cool. And I love that you, like, what made you decide to release that then? Like, because,
Oh, well, part of the package was that they printed some CDs, just to like give to your family and stuff with like the photos and the songs and stuff. And my teacher was just like, "Hey, do you want this on the internet?" And I didn't know how distribution worked or anything.
right.
So I
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah." And so
Right.
the team there at the school or whatever put it out, and it was really cool because I grew up in a generation. I am the first generation that grew up with iPhones and stuff like that, and like that, I mean that's a complicated thing. But one of the cool things, obviously, it's another complicated thing when it comes to streaming. We're in a record store right now. I'm not promoting streaming music, okay?
Yeah.
But however, being on the first generation that was doing that,
Yeah.
when I was in third or fourth grade or whatever, like my friends like had my music on their phone, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
To me, that was something really special. So I'm glad that it did get released digitally as well, just because it's a cool little time capsule to look back on.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. Yeah, it's there and it's very cute. I'm glad it's there.
Thank you.
So you've released quite a few singles by now. And most recently you released Round and Round.
Yeah.
I really love that song.
Thank you.
I feel like there's a special story in that song. I don't know why, but I just
Yeah.
like feel it like there's
It's
an
different.
yeah, and like yeah, and I feel like your sound has this really, I don't even know how to really put, I feel like, you know, I was listening to your music on the way back from work today, and I was just like, this is like a mix of like Weezer
Yes.
meets like Sam Cooke,
That's sick.
like meets like the Beatles, but like pop. Like you have this really like unique spin, unique sound, like a spin of genres. I guess
Thank
that's what
you.
I'm trying to say. Um, so, but yeah, tell us about Round and Round.
Yeah, I mean, first off, thank you for that because
Yeah,
yeah, I feel like as musicians, I'm sure you get this as a songwriter. It's like, what do you sound like? Every venue you
yeah,
ever apply to, what do you sound like? I
yeah,
don't know. I
yeah,
just like 500 different bands, and then I sit down with chords, and somehow it's an amalgamation of those things. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's cool to hear what you think because spot on. I like all those artists for sure.
Okay,
I love all those artists.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm a huge fan, and
because you got this kind of classic. That's the only word I can think of to describe
approach
it.
to
Yeah,
the
you got
harmony and the
yeah, and like I guess you could call it like, I mean that's pop, like there's very it's pretty pop heavy.
yeah.
But I don't know if that was, it's not like the typical pop song. Like I say, it is your own thing.
Yeah,
You are in your own
I grew up.
like
It's interesting because I grew up like listening to a lot of 50s and 60s stuff through my grandparents, and then at the same time, the 2000s and 2010s things were on the radio at the same time. So you have like the 2000s stuff, which is almost more like rap and hip hop influenced pop, I would say, where melody
right,
becomes less and less important for a little while. Now in the 2020s, I think we're in a real full swing the other way. I think melody's actually coming back in the last like 5 years.
right,
I've kind of noticed in trend,
right,
but like my music taste was so like it's like oversimplified jazz harmony. So like if you know about like when the Beatles were first starting, they would take like jazz standards and stuff and then just play them fast and kind of simplify the chords because they didn't know how to play the proper chords
oh
and stuff like
crazy,
that. Like there's a bit of like their early discography was obviously stuff that they wrote, but also like they were taking these American jazz standards and stuff like that and playing them as pop tunes. And so I think a lot of that harmony, because I
hmm.
was listening to that at the
Mm,
time, was like,
makes
whoa,
sense.
what if I take this 251 or whatever and just play it fast and it sounds like a rock song, but it sounds like colorful in a different way. And I don't know, like that's just how that
Yeah,
happened for me was
cool.
finding a way to like stylistically, how do I lean into what I like about relevant music and what I like about the older music at the same time.
Yeah, well that comes through for sure. And yeah, like what's the inspiration for Round and
Yeah, yeah.
Round?
Um, Sonically, I was listening to like I don't know if you caught this when listening to any of the stuff, and it's totally okay if you didn't. But compared to my other music, the scope of the production is
Mm,
huge. Like this song is
right.
like a wall of sound song where there's so many instruments. There's like an orchestra under a rock band, under like all this stuff going on.
Yeah,
Very different from like some of my earlier stuff, which was just like piano and vocal.
yeah.
And I was actually listening to so much Bruce Springsteen at the time when I got
Okay.
into college.
Yeah.
I just there was something about kind of what I was saying before, where it's like uh, this just like huge sounding pop rock thing that like I don't know, just something about like the orchestral element. Like it's so dumb, and my one buddy's gonna laugh at me because I talk about this instrument all the time. But I love the glockenspiel. The
Okay.
glockenspiel instrument,
Yeah.
those little bell sounding
Yes.
things. To me, when that's in it, it's that perfect thing of like, okay, that's the nostalgia angle that we're bringing in a little bit, but it
Okay.
feels grand and it feels familiar and almost has this like childlike quality to it where it's like
Mm,
comforting and
mm,
nostalgic.
mm,
I don't know, but for Round and Around, yeah, I was listening to a lot of Bruce Springsteen at that time, specifically the Born to Run album, where
mm,
it's like there's a lot of that sounds like pop rock stuff with a little bit of orchestral touch. And then musically, I was writing this song Round and Around as this acoustic folk thing, and I was like, but these emotions are huge. Like I want the listener to feel almost overwhelmed, not in a bad way, but
mm.
like there's a certain urgency to the
Okay.
song.
Yeah.
Because when I play it as a slow acoustic song, you can really hear the words, and I think that's really important. But I loved that's what I loved about the Springsteen thing was that it was like these words meant something and were emotional, but the groove was also awesome at the same time,
Yes.
and that's what I really wanted to find. It's so hard. I feel like 90% of music is either the lyrics are carrying it or the beat is carrying it. And I
Right.
really want, and I feel like that's the only song that I've made so far where it's like down the middle of like both
Okay.
are really working. And that's the type of
Nice.
music I really like.
Nice. How did you put the song together? Did you go into a studio? Did you have a live tell us about the recording process for that.
Yeah, so I went into with my buddy Levi. We had worked for a little bit with a different producer, him and I, as like a trio, and it wasn't really working out. I don't think I was very clear on my vision at first. Like
Okay.
it leaned a little bit too folk. Like it was a bit slower, and it was a lot more just acoustic, which is cool in its own right.
Yeah.
But it didn't have that like. I wanted it to feel like it sounds so silly, but like explosive. Like it just
Yeah.
like feels like there's something needs to be said, almost
Yeah.
like you're shouting. Like
Yeah.
there's this built up emotion that's boiling over. That's what I wanted the track to feel like, and I think we
Okay.
got there
Yeah.
in like the urgency feeling. And so yeah, then we kind of shelved it for a couple weeks while I was kind of figuring out, do I even like this song? I was in one of those,
Right.
headspaces of,
Yeah.
is this even good anymore?
Yeah.
So then we got back in the studio. It's just Levi and I. He has a background in film scoring.
Mm.
And so he's really good at recording strings, and he's actually a really great percussionist. My background is in melody, lyrics, harmony, a little bit of guitar and piano playing. And so he kind of had everything that I don't have. I'm not a good drummer. I don't know how to play a cello at all. I know what melody I want the cello to play, but I don't know how to physically play it proficiently.
Yeah.
And so we kind of formed that dream team on that song.
Okay. So he played all the string.
Yeah, he played all the string parts. And we both played the piano. I played the guitar. It's kind of a mix on the bass and drum. Well, mainly him on the drums. But yeah, we literally sat down and co-produced everything. Like we recorded and wrote every single part together, and mixed it together, and like everything. Like it was fully like the two of us is baked into the DNA of that song. Like that song wouldn't exist without him. I don't think it would exist without me. And so it's
yeah. Well, I love it. And what about the lyrics? Like what's the song about?
Yeah. So I was, I'll be super candid. I go through like waves of, I struggle to say like depressive episodes. I struggle to say only because I don't have anything diagnosed. And so I don't want to claim space for a community that I'm not necessarily part of. I mean, maybe I am. I haven't tested for anything.
Okay.
So, but I definitely struggle with like just in my life, whether it's being motivated or just contentness for life or whatever.
Yeah.
Just going up and down. Yeah. So I noticed, especially when I was ending high school and getting into college, there was this like crazy cycle that kept happening where I would get really low, and then suddenly I was feeling great for like a month at a time, and I would think, I'm never going to feel like that again. Like I'm never going to go back to feeling awful like that. And then when I go back, this huge guilt of like, I thought I improved myself. I thought I moved past this. And so like this feeling of like I could not wrap my head around how non-linear life is for the longest time. Okay. For the longest time, I was like, I gotta sort this out, and I gotta get better, and I gotta grind, and I gotta whatever. Right. But
I need to fix this.
Yeah, I need to fix this. And I kept feeling like I had fixed things, and then it kept failing. Like, and it's almost that feeling of like when things get better, and then you start anticipating the next bad thing that's going to happen. Like when things are almost a little too comfortable, where you're like, oh, what's about to happen?
Yeah. When's the shoe going to drop?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I had this feeling where I was so sad during the lows, and then during the highs, I couldn't even appreciate either because I was anxious for the next low. Like it just got to that.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. And for me, it was like, damn, like, and I think everybody has their own mental health complexities and journey and whatever. But when I talk to some of my peers and friends and stuff, they're like, that would be, you make music. Why wouldn't you write about something like that? That's like that, like relevant and just true to you. And I really felt like at the time, like compared to my discography previous, it was just like random pop songs that I wrote because they were fun. I really wanted to, especially as I'm getting older, just like say something that I believe in. Not that I don't believe in the other things.
Yeah.
But it was like, I really want to be able to play a show where I can connect with an audience and say, hey, this is where I'm at. If you feel this way or a similar way, it's okay. And just like connect in a really human way, which you can't really do with like a I love you, you love me type song. Like that's a different type of connection. But I really just wanted to highlight a moment in my life that was really important. And that's where a lot of those lyrics come from. Like round and around, I'm going right back round again. It's like, and that bridge where it's like, I can't define the change in my mind. I swear on my life I was happy this time. It's like just that, to me, every single time that I sing that, it sounds so cheesy, but I actually do get choked up, and I don't perform it very well technically because it's like I know exactly what that feels like to be like, oh, I thought I was okay now, but then it's like falling back into that cycle, and it's hard. So
Right. Well, I mean, just thank you for saying all of that,
of
first of
course,
all, because like I think we all need to be talking about that more in general. There is a lot of stigma, and so I think it's, yeah, really important to just bust through that a little bit. um and I also feel like when I looked at your discography and then I heard the theme of this song, because I kind of picked up that it was about a depression,
yeah,
or like some emotional cycles that you're going through. um and I like your numbers are the best for that song. And I'm like, no wonder, because it's a very vulnerable song, and I'm a firm believer that when we write something that's just like so true, and it does, kind of,
resonates and cuts through.
yeah, like it kind of exposes you a little bit in a way, but in like the best way, because I think that that's, like how is that song, what's been the reaction to that song, and like have you been having conversations with people about mental health,
Yeah,
and like is it like it's even probably brought some healing to you, like
absolutely.
just to talk about
It
that, and you're not
even
alone
this
in
right
that
now, you know what I
anymore,
mean? Like, yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah.
what's that been like to
I,
get the feedback?
I
And
can't even summarize it in a way that doesn't sound so like out of touch, cheesy, whatever. Like, but I
no,
mean it from the
yeah,
bottom of my heart. It's like
yeah.
it changed my life. Like even if the music never pops off and I never like get to go on like a big tour or anything, and I'm still just playing like the fun indie venues locally or whatever. Like I mean, obviously I care a little bit, but I don't care in the way that I did before, because I feel like that connection piece is huge. If I can just get in front of somebody and play that song and we can have a conversation, that makes me so happy. Like right now where I'm at,
Yes.
I like playing the rest of the set, but man, am I excited for that moment. Like I'm just,
Yes.
and the conversations, yeah, I've probably had solid 10 or 20 conversations with people around the song, and like people that I wouldn't expect, and people coming to shows, and that's one of the only songs that they know the words to because it matters to them. And that's insane to see somebody sing that thing that like I took like the lowest point of my life, and captured it and turned it into like this positive sort of anthem type thing and performed it. And now there's people like that are being impacted by it. It's like every artist, like it's literally every artist's dream. I
That's
don't
your
think there's a
dream.
higher
Yes.
like level of
I agree.
connection to
I
seek.
agree.
It's
I agree.
crazy. It's
That's so awesome.
yeah,
And
it's
actually, I there when we were at Green Auto, like people were singing along
it was
to
great.
your
That
songs.
that was the
Like,
most amount of people that have ever sang to my song. So you might have a little skewed perspective on thinking everyone knows who Drew is. It's like I was like, what is going on tonight? This is
oh,
not
that was
normal. That
special.
was special. That was
Okay.
definitely special.
I was wanting to. I forgot to ask you about that, but I'm glad it's come up again.
Yeah,
Because
that's new.
so you have like fans.
I
Are those people fans? Like, I want to know. Like, are those people your friends, or
It's
are they?
crazy. I mean, I consider anyone who is willing to have a conversation past just small talk my friend.
Yes.
So definitely
Yeah.
friends. But
Okay.
at the same time, it's like I do mainly only see them at music events. So like
Okay.
some of them came to my show, like met like we did.
Yeah.
And like I'm sure after this, I already consider us friends. And
Yes.
so it's like
Absolutely.
it'll be like this.
Yes.
And then some of them is like friends who I kind of had in the past through things, who then came to a show. Maybe we hadn't spoken that much, and then suddenly they're at every show and we're just hanging out. And it's like, so yeah, I could say fans. It honestly feels like a family, to be honest, like because it's just
Yeah.
like it's so cool, like building your own like tribe of people and stuff like that that like resonate with a
Yes.
message and a value. So
Yes.
that's huge to me. I mean, it feels weird to say fan because I'm just a guy. I mean, if they're a fan of the song, that's one thing because I don't necessarily even feel like it's mine. Like a lot of songwriters talk about like channeling. So I'm
Yes.
like I just happen to love making music at the same time that I happen to be going through something, and I made something because I needed it was the only way I could cope with it, and I
Yeah.
put it out, and now someone else has their own story with it, and that's great. So it's like, hey, I'm also a fan of that song. So
Yeah.
I'm no it's not like please don't ever treat me like, "Oh my god, Drew, you're the cool." Like it's like,
Yeah. No.
"No way. Yes,
Yeah.
this song is the coolest. Let's both fanboy or whatever over
Yeah.
it together."
Yeah.
Cuz like I'm a fan of it, to be honest. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
I'm lucky that I get to perform it. So that's kind
Yeah.
of how I feel.
I love it. That's So wise. And you're only 20. How is this?
I don't know.
You're so deep, man.
I try not. Well, I try not to
love
be a
it.
buzzkill, but
No. Oh my God. Are you kidding? Like, never. No, this is amazing. I love this. I love that you're sharing your wisdom. And I love that this song is just like having an impact, and that you're like finding this sense of belonging. Like this song is connecting you to these people.
yeah, I
And
think
that's so cool.
the craziest, biggest thing personally is that like for like my life up until that point of releasing something like that, it was like I was always trying to hide that thing, that part of me, right?
Mm,
And being like, oh, I want to put out this upbeat, happy pop music. I still want to do that, but
yeah.
want to put out this upbeat, happy pop music and not know, have people know like what's going on behind the scenes. But now
Yeah.
that it's like, I don't know. There's something about like being able to, every single time that I play that song, you're totally right about like the healing part of it. It's like, for me, it's like, not only am I saying this in front of a room of people and they're saying it's okay to feel that way, they're like, yo, it's cool that you are saying that. Like
Yeah.
it's the next level above just being okay.
For
It's
sure.
celebrated. And to me,
Yes.
it's like, it's crazy. I never thought that that would have happened. I never thought that saying what I always thought was a weakness somehow ended up being my greatest strength. And I'm so grateful
Yes.
for that.
Oh my God. Yes. 100%. I agree. I agree with all of that. And I love that that's happening. Um, what was I going to say? Mm, uh, right. Okay. Got it. When that song came out and you like the impact that it's had, and like, the feedback you're getting, like, did it kind of change your like perspective on like how you move forward as an artist?
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
do you feel like before, maybe, and I don't know, that's why I'm asking
Yeah.
you, it was like, because we all, have those moments as an artist that you're like, you're going for it, you want to be famous and you want to like have success, which, of course we all want that
Yeah.
and we all deserve that to a degree. We put so much hard work into what we do. But do you feel like, yeah, tell us about like how that shifted for you when that song came out and you like,
You're wildly intuitive is what I
okay.
can say. It's like I was always chasing something. I felt like I was throwing my music at people. Like I was almost like writing
Okay.
songs as like a currency and like pushing things out and being like, okay, I just got to keep putting out things and then one will pop off and then I'll get to do my dream job and have the cool car and the cool house and whatever. Like I was
Yeah.
just doing it because I thought that's the steps you had to do. I wasn't like, okay, I was doing it because I also loved it. I loved
Yeah.
making songs, but I was putting them out for the hope that something would catch on and it would blow up. Cause you know what I mean? Like what you were
Yes.
just talking
Yes.
about.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now it's like, oh wow. Like, and so the shows too were very much like, prior to that song, were very much like, I'm playing this show because I hope something happens from it. Like,
Right.
and if I play enough shows, statistically something has to happen. It really
Right.
wasn't out of a place of like, I truly believe, like it didn't really feel like art. I don't know how to explain it. Like it felt
Mm,
like really fun to make songs and that part was the art, but like the project didn't feel like art, because to me art has to have, whether it's even just a happy pop song, there needs to be some level of like emotional integrity of like, I believe in this message. And so that's why I'm showing up, because I back it up. And now it's like I'm saying something that I sincerely believe in, and to see my belief from the bottom of my heart influence someone in a positive way, it's like, okay, this makes sense. And you start thinking, okay, that is why the greats were great, because they were doing something sincere. They were
yeah.
like, yes, at the same time they were everybody's chasing success to a certain extent, and
Yes.
there's no beating around that,
Yeah.
because of course I would love to be famous for being genuine, of course.
Yes. Yes.
But before I was just like, I just want to be successful. And it was,
Yes.
and I got
Yes.
really burnt out because I was
Yeah.
playing shows and people were liking it, but I was going home and I'm like, I didn't have any fun. Like
Interesting.
I why did I spend 16 hours prepping that set and then 2 hours on stage? Like why did I do that? But
Right.
then now it's like, okay, I did it to play that song. And I hope I can write more songs where it's like, I really believe in the message so that it like justifies why I'm doing all this, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. It's like yeah. And I think it's like you need that. You need the connection with yourself
Yeah.
first, the courage, the vulnerability. You got to like take down the armor and be like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to write this song. Right. And then that's, what's going to create that connection and that, reciprocal energy with the audience,
Totally.
which, energizes everybody, I
Yeah.
think, in the
Reciprocal is the
room.
perfect way to put it,
Right.
though. That's
Yeah.
perfect, because like I said before, I felt like I was throwing something at the audience, being like, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. And
Right.
it's like, whatever. Even if they caught on to it, I wasn't feeling great.
Yeah.
But now it definitely feels like this thing. I look at somebody, they're singing the lyric, I get supercharged. Then I'm doing a better job. Then they're getting more hype. Then we're just feeding.
Yes,
like when I'm in that
feedback
space,
loop.
it's the feedback loop. And it
Yeah.
wasn't like that before. It was very much just like, look at my thing. And I don't.
Yeah.
I felt gross. Like I felt.
Yeah. Interesting.
Like very like I don't even know. Like I was like a car salesman or something.
Right.
No hate.
Yeah.
No hate to anybody who does that. But it was like, buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my. And now it's just like, hey, I don't even care if you don't want to pay for a ticket. Just come to the show for free and let's sing this song. And because I believe in this message. So it's wildly different to how I feel about myself, how I feel about doing this as a job. And it feels a lot more real and possible now,
Yes.
which is cool.
Amazing. And just more meaningful,
Yes.
like it's more purposeful. It's got all the things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love
I'm
that
super
you're
happy
in
about
that
it.
spot.
I know.
love that.
That's
I'm
the
so
spot that everybody wants
happy
to be
for
in.
you. Yes, 100%. And yeah, just excited for that. I'm panicking because I don't know what to say next.
No, it's all good. It happens.
Yeah, I just right, that's what I was going to say. Your message that night at the show, like you kind of, and I think that was the thing that stuck out to me, that like I wanted to come and like talk to you about after.
Yeah.
Because I feel like as artists, it is, at least I know for me, there's been so many times where I'm like, oh, like I'm going to say this like thing that I feel and it's important. And, I think it'll be a meaningful thing to say at the show. And then I get to the show. There's been so many times this has happened to me over my career where I'm like, I can't say the thing. And I'm not saying anything.
So now we're in B mode where we're not really doing the original intent.
Exactly. Yeah. And then it never feels good, right? It's a little bit shitty. You don't end up saying the thing you want to say.
Yeah.
But you said the thing. And I saw like how you were nervous while you're doing it, but you said the thing. And I was like, that's so cool. Like, share with us what you kind of, if you remember what you shared at the show. Like you had this message for people, and it was about love, and that there's a lot of crazy things happening in the world, and that we should all
just kind of focus on what makes us the same rather than different. Like I am not an originator of this idea, guys.
No,
like,
no.
I'm not trying to take any credit for it, but I think for a long time I had honestly not really paid attention to what was going on in the world. I was so wrapped up in what was going on in my own personal life, or like whatever.
Yeah.
And then you get into like late high school, college age, and especially now in this generation where like you literally open your phone and you see the worst news every day.
Yeah.
And every day it's something worse.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, there's no way that's happening. There's no way. And it's like, yeah, it is actually happening.
Yeah.
So tie it into the already, even in a vacuum, already having the depressive episodes. That's definitely a trigger.
Oh yeah.
I can promise you that.
Yeah.
Open my phone and be like, oh, what am I going to do today? Oh, this country just blew up. I'm going to stay in bed.
Yeah.
So like,
Crazy.
and that's where it was while I was in college. Like I just like, just the helplessness of that.
Yes.
And so I think that there was like a level of, I'm not even going to try and tell people to get like involved necessarily with things that work towards things, because there's always going to be a battle to fight. There always is. And there's so many things. So, pick the things that matter to you and stand up for those things. I'm not here to preach a specific thing.
Yeah.
However, I am here to preach the idea that like, I think I said something along the lines of like, we are in a time right now where no matter what side you think you're on, everyone is exceptionally unhappy. And that's a scary thing. So like, I'll be so blunt. I'm very left leaning. I'm very, I am very left leaning, and I don't care if that makes people mad. But I mean, I'm a little scared that makes people mad. But I also understand, because I do know people who are right leaning and like pretty right leaning down in the States. And it's like, I understand conceptually that as scared as I am right now, for whatever reason, even if I don't agree with their logic, they feel that same fear. So if we can understand
Right.
that the person on the opposite side of our belief has the same amount of like driving intense emotions of like I truly believe that I'm right in my belief.
Yeah.
So does the inverse of me.
Yeah.
That person also believes that.
Yeah.
And we're both scared of each other. That is the problem. If we can understand that we are both humans and can accept each other's belief and find a way to work forward where both of our beliefs, I mean, some beliefs I don't think, like the extreme, but find a way to meet in the middle. Not even meet in the middle, but I hope it makes sense what I'm saying. Like
hear each other out
and trying to just rehumanize each other.
Yes.
Is the biggest thing.
Yes.
And to understand that at the end of the day, we were all born little kids and we're all just figuring this out. Like we're all scared little children inside.
Yeah.
I am. You secretly probably.
Yes,
we all are.
No, 100%.
And so
100%.
to rehumanize and understand that even the worst people, we're all kind of one bad day away from going down the route of becoming that type of person. So it's the understanding of it's our responsibility as a community to look out for each other and to be like there's so many conversations that could happen that could stop people from going down that route. That whatever that route is, it's like there's so many things that could happen where if we open dialogues and make it easier, even just talking about mental health. Like if I didn't feel like I could talk about my mental health on something like this, I could easily be one of those horrible people on the internet, like just doing terrible things because I'd have no outlet, right? But I am very lucky with the family that I grew up, the support I grew up with, in the place that I grew up, and all that stuff just happened to line up magically. I didn't have control over that. And I'm very blessed in that way. And so it's just like, I just that night I really just wanted to say like, hey, I actually don't really care like what you think or whatever, as long as you understand that we're all human and that we got to look out for each other. And that was kind of the biggest.
I love that. I love that you said that night, by the way, because it does, and it does take a lot of courage to say those things, especially when the world is so divided. So good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Keep saying those things. They're needed, and I think every artist has a different approach, but I love that you're like, put yourself out there in that way. So it definitely stood out to me. So we're going to wrap it up here pretty soon, but like why, no, wait, I think we just covered that.
It's all good.
Well, this interview is going to be coming out in January. So what do you have coming up?
My birthday is in January.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It is.
Amazing. What day?
January 14th.
Okay.
That's my birthday.
Okay. Nice.
I was just trying to think, I'm like, do I have anything in January? I don't know if I have anything coming out.
Do you have anything coming up in 2026? Like, because we're almost at the end of the year here. And
yeah. So I mentioned that Levi, who's a friend of mine who I produce my music with, we worked on Round and Around. We've been in the studio over the summer and then he went away for a little bit. So we've kind of been on and off, but we're working on 5 brand new songs, which is crazy to say.
Oh my gosh.
I'm very excited.
I can't wait.
I have no idea if it's going to be, I really want to make an EP because obviously as a fan of music, I love the idea of like, oh, this is this intentional group of songs and it's this album EP vibe, whatever it is. Like I love the world that you can sink your teeth into. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure that all these songs are cohesive enough to tell a story. Okay. So I might do more of like just a singles rollout thing because I think they're great songs, but they don't necessarily tell one through narrative, you know what I mean?
Okay, gotcha.
And for me, it's like if I want to put out a record someday, I almost want to put out like a concept record of like where it's like intentionally chose just because those are the records I really like.
Yes.
And so I'm kind of flip-flopping between that, but 2026, it's gonna be my year, is what I'm saying.
I've been
telling myself
people.
That. I got bangers loaded up in the chamber.
I can't wait. Like, are they pretty much almost done? Like,
we need to track vocals and then we need to track horns.
Okay.
That's it. Everything else is like done.
Fun. Yeah. And so, how have you been putting? Like, what's your strategy? Like, for what's going to be your strategy
for rolling it out, or for finishing up the projects?
Rolling it out.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely like. If I'm not going to go down the EP world, then I want to make each single feel like it has its own world that you can like. I'm such a sucker for like immersive branding, if you want to call it that. Like I love when like an artist drops a single and the album cover is like, or like even just for one song, the artwork is like there's this world and then they put out like a shirt that like is an extension of that world in the same art style but like slightly different. And and it feels like this thing that you can get behind. And I have not had that in my work so far. I've just very
Okay.
much just been like, okay, song, cool picture, boom,
Yeah.
out. But now I've been spending a lot of time like with a lot of physical media, whether it be like vinyl or cassette, or even like I've been watching a lot of like old Disney VHS tapes lately because
Okay.
I got my family's like CRT TV or whatever that has the VHS player built into it.
Okay.
And so I've
Nice.
been really getting into like looking at the packaging of it, of all those
Yeah.
things, looking at the front, looking at the back, looking at the artwork on the inside and being like, okay, how does this work together? Like just appreciating visual arts, whether that's photography or graphic design or whatever, to like a new level that I had like been aware of but not taken the time to really consider until
Mm,
now. So I'm trying to
right.
like, when you think of Drew Story, I want you to think of something. Right now it's just like, oh, I like that one song or I like those two songs or whatever, but I really want it to be like there's an image that pops in your mind, if that makes sense, of like a
Cool.
world, just like any of your other favorite artists that you'd listen to.
Nice. Cool. That sounds fun. That sounds
It's the
exciting.
fun part.
Yeah. And I mean, we have this hat here as well that you brought for your single round. It says round and around with a record on it. You have these for sale,
Yeah.
right? On your website
I
or no,
actually don't even have
wait.
them on my website.
Oh, right.
Anybody can DM me or
Yes.
message me on anything. I literally have them in a box, several boxes piled to the roof in my room full of those
Okay.
black hats.
Yes.
So if
I
you
love
like
it.
one, hit me up and I can get it to you.
Yes. People take a look at that.
Classic.
I love it.
Timeless design.
I love it. I can't wait to wear it. Thank you so much for bringing it in.
Of course.
Um, cool. Well, this has been so nice, and thank you so much for making the trip out
Thank you
here
for having
and
me.
sharing your story and everything with us. Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. I've had the best time, so thank you.
Cool.